technically, right?
Yes,
Two.
this would be
Yes.
episode 2.
Episode 2. All right. Solar Aid, off the rip. What is your scaling 1 through 10?
9.
9. Yeah, I'd probably give it like an 8, if anything. 8, 9,
9 or 8,
around there.
yeah.
Like I'm talking about just overall. Like I think the game itself, sure, I give it like a 9. Like I think the gameplay, everything that's been happening, 9. I'm talking about overall as the season. There are those little things that are making it hard to play and kind of frustrating. So that's why I give it the 8 because you have the servers that crash every weekend.
You know what? That's a good point. That probably does single-handedly drop it a point because, yeah. I mean, there was that 1 week where it was every week, and then it's been like once a week since then.
Yep. There's that. I say the first like couple weeks of it, meaning like probably week 3 and 4 up to then, have been great with cheaters, and now all of a sudden it's nonstop. So that's another thing that kind of gets a point down. So aside from those two things, I think this season's great. I think it's probably the best season we've ever had, my opinion.
Yeah,
In terms of balancing and gameplay, I think it's the best one,
yeah.
honestly.
I know a lot of people weren't like the happiest with some of the balancing, but it really I think was a better direction for the game.
Yeah.
Which I guess which specific of the season do you want to get into first?
Uh, let's just start off easy one off the rip. Solus. Solus is an operator.
Correct.
I think Solus is. Don't want to say broken. I don't think there's anything you have to say that she's too OP. I think she's just too good. For
she's
instance,
she's an
she's
off
not lion broken. She's not lion
no
broken.
no she's as we talked about. I can't remember if it was last podcast or before. You know, you had your three like SS tier that have been in the
Mm-hmm.
past, right? Blackbeard on launch, Lion on
Mm-hmm.
launch, and Ella on launch. And of
Yep.
course, she doesn't come close to that.
I knew that. Yeah.
She'd probably be like S A plus sort of area.
I'd
Um,
say probably like mirror launch almost.
yeah, pretty close to there.
Like mirror launch. Nothing you can like. I mean, obviously you had your Twitch counter, but like it's like I don't know. I think she's just too good right now. Like she makes what the game is supposed to be very hard, which is a good thing. But at the same time, it's like we also very rarely get players who play the game in its intended way. So when you do have people who actually do drone and properly use their utility, it's like Solus pretty much just completely says nope, not that's not happening, and just it makes prep phase a lot harder for attackers.
Right. And I know some people have been throwing out some ideas on how to fix that. I've seen, for example, like a range nerf, which I don't think would fix the core issue of her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I was brainstorming the other day, what I would actually do,
Mm-hmm.
if possible, because I'm not sure how they do it with her, the scan being in, like keeping the scan around. What I would
Mm-hmm.
rather see them do with her is have it so it doesn't recharge. It's a set time. You can increase that
Mm-hmm.
time like exponentially. But so let's say you set it to like 50 seconds, right? You can
Yeah.
either
Yeah.
spend all of drone phase looking for drones, and then you
Mhm,
can't, try and deny plant then. So it's
mhm.
like a trade-off, right? You either attempt to deny all intel or you save it for getting your own intel. Is
Yeah.
that was my idea with her, which I think could be interesting. Again, I'm not sure how you do
Mhm.
it with the scan because you'd have to
That's
factor that in.
that's the thing that I always thought when she was first launched. I thought she was like when you had a scan. Like I thought like once you use all, I thought there was like 3 scans you could use at first. I thought there was like a limited amount of scans because I didn't get to play her in test server ever. So I thought when she had her scans, once you used it, it was like completely gone, and then you had like 2 more, kind of like how Jackal works, pretty much. I thought
That
that's how it worked.
that could be another interesting way to take it. Give it so you
It
only
was,
get two
mm,
or something, which
yeah.
would be
Trying to think.
good for countering like gathering intel, but not
Mhm.
for like destroying intel.
I think she should have probably a period of time before she's allowed to use her gadget in prep phase. Honestly, like a loadout, like pretty much like Legion or my like the thing has to load up prior to or like Amaro for instance. Amaro can't use her gadget like think what 10 seconds into the attacking round like once round actually starts. So when prep phase starts, don't allow her to automatically be able to use her gadget. I don't know. I just Because think about it, you could still technically use her gadget to find those hidden drones. It's just that she's not going to see those drones immediately like how she can right now. Like, let's say you get a very well hidden drone. Cool, because Solas can't use her gadget. But then when prep phase is done, she can use her gadget, and she can still see where the drone is as long as somebody's on it. That's all that matters. Like, it doesn't. I don't think it hurts her at all. I just don't like like.
No.
She just makes being an attacker, droning everything very, very hard. And then you technically have to go in there blindly. Go into sites blindly, in a way. Like, yes, you could drone after, obviously, but like, there's still Solas on the board. Like, she's still probably going to be hunting drones and stuff. So, I'd just say she's a very, very good op. Very, very good. Too good.
Truth be told, I would rather an op releases this way than Grim and
Yes, 100%, because now you know the problems. Yeah.
Exactly. It is a lot easier to identify a problem when a operator is too strong rather than too weak.
100%. I agree.
So
also, another thing I would like to see, if anything, maybe don't allow her to sprint with her gadget on. I think that might be one.
Yeah, then she can't get around the map as quick, and like if you think of like Canal, right? Let's say you're playing top floor, and you want to go look for drones over by like reception, right? Well, the entire time, right? You can run downstairs. You're sprinting through model. You can see if they have a pre-placed model. While you're sprinting across the bridge, you can already know if there's a drone in reception. And then you get to reception, you can get it. So that also wouldn't be that bad of an idea, especially because Pulse can't.
Yeah. And speaking of Pulse, with that, she can also toss her impacts while with the gadget on. So
yes, which
that kind of like.
See, that's a tough one because I do like the interaction. I think it is a very unique interaction, and if possible, I would like to see that stay. Now, that's not to say if it has to go, it has to go, right? Like if they can't come up with anything else, and like that ends up being her primary problem later on in the season, or like later on down her lifetime, yeah, you can get rid of them. You can make it so she can't throw them, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's an issue, but like that's just like throw it out there kind of thing. It's whatever. Like that one's whatever. I definitely want to see maybe her not be able to sprint with her gadget. That's one. I definitely would like to see go.
Sprint, but I would like to see Vault stay, and I'd like to see Pulse. I saw someone put online. I would actually like to see Pulse be able to get the ability to Vault with his out.
Yeah, that was a Bikini.
Yes, I think Bikini was very right with that one because that one feels clunky in comparison now that we have the other one, and it doesn't like. If you remove Solas' ability to Vault with hers out, I don't think it really like changes much, right? Because it just makes it, she can't get on top of a desk.
Yeah. It's like whatever, yeah, big deal.
But all in all, I am really happy with the character, the position she's in. Again, a little bit strong, but I would much rather have that. And even still, she's not strong to the point where you see her every game.
Oh no, definitely not.
Not at all.
She's not one of those. Yeah, she's not one of those ops where you're like, this is a must bring for the round right now, and if you're not, you're trolling. No,
exactly.
It's not necessary.
So
she's not S tier. She's just A++ tier, if anything.
Yeah, like
borderline. She's almost there. She's almost there, but like she's not there though.
If they did do some sort of nerf to her gadget, though, one thing I'd like to see her actually buff in return. I want to see that shotgun buffed. So that way. You
think so? I think the shotgun's good. I just think the reason it doesn't look good is because the other ops it's on. Like, for instance, you bring Jackal, you have a PDW and a C7E. That's the reason you don't see it on Jackal ever, because you don't. Why would you ever bring that if you have...
Well, actually, I'm not sure if you watched it, and for anyone in chat, I'd highly recommend anybody watch it. Gregor actually did, like, a testing on, like, all the shotguns, and at 8 meters, which is, like, your average gunfighting distance, he did, like, the average that it would one-shot a 3 armor, and it was lower than all the semi-auto shotguns except for like Ella's. It was like you couldn't one-shot at like good range at all.
Yeah, but like she also has great she has 2 other good weapons as well. She has an SMG-11 and she has the PED. The reason why I also say you don't want to buff is because they don't do like individual guns to individual people, remember? So it's like if you buff that, you're giving a buff to Mirror and you're also giving a buff to Jackal at the same time, which you don't want. You don't want to do that. While I do understand maybe you would want to buff just for her sake, it's not going to benefit the game for Jackal and Mirror, if you know what I mean. Two ops that get banned pretty much 80-90% of the time. It's just going to get 100% banned right now. And then the last thing we would need, you got it.
I was just gonna say, I'm pretty sure if you buff the shotgun, Jackal won't continue to run it anyways. But I can see the case for Mira. Mira could be a little bit, because then she could play in like a smoke position, like on a 90 corner sometimes. That one I can see where you're coming from with. Jackal, I think Jackal would be void, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, it's just universal balancing kind of thing. Don't think you would want to buff that shotgun too significantly, at least. Like, I'd say the most you would do with that shotgun, in my opinion, maybe a little bit of range, maybe. Just range, that's about it. Because its destruction is pretty ass.
That's true.
Its destruction is complete ass. Like, the secondary, which is the same exact fucking gun, does better damage or destruction than that does, actually.
Has better destruction, better point blank damage. It just lacks in range. Which, of course,
both guns are consistent, but like it's just there's no reason to buff it if you already have the secondary one, which is the same exact gun. Like I was saying, I think the range is just like I think it's like literally a 2-meter distance of range between the two guns.
Yeah,
if I'm
it
correct.
Doesn't make much of a difference.
It makes barely a difference. But again, Solus has the P90 and an SMG11, so I don't think they'll buff that gun at all. The shotgun.
Probably not. That was just in the case of they nerf her gadget. I wouldn't mind. I think it'd be fine right now, right? You don't have to buff it if she's in her current state. But
yeah, no.
All in all, really happy with the character.
She's a 2-2, right?
She is a 2-2. 2-2, okay. Bulletproof cam and impacts.
Okay.
Yeah, shotgun, P90, SMG 11. So a lot of like lesser used weapons for sure as well, which is nice to see, other than the SMG 11. But I guess the other really big balancing change this season was the armor and ADS speed changes.
Yep. I'm happy with the fucking ADS changes. Get rid of, not rid, but like, you don't have as many fucking crackhead people running around to a door frame and just jiggle peeking the living life out of it. So, with certain operators per se.
It did.
It's still there, but
yes. You know. So it helped in the scenario you just brought up, 100%, and it had its desired effect in that sense. I think the only like downside that really came out from that is kind of annoying that I've noticed, which is more on me for not, I guess maybe droning as much or like having better team play. I can admit, but people playing like the weirdest spots right now because of it. And I think that's just because I'm getting used to it. Like, you will see people, like, just
more riding
in the
pretty
middle
much.
Of the room because they can't, like, swing nearly as much. Yeah. Which I will take that over that because, of course, it kind of balances out a little bit because the person who is swinging the person in the middle of the room can't peek as fast, and the person in the middle of the room is, you know, in the middle of the room, so you can hit more of them. So it does balance out a little bit, but I have noticed that a little bit that the monkeys just tend to play more ratty right now.
Yeah, I'm fine with that though. That just means you got a drone at this point now.
Exactly, it's
just good. I think the ADS change is just good. I don't have any complaints. I don't have any like thing to like be like this is amazing. It's a good change. I like it. Well, I like it.
And for people who play a diverse cast of operators already, don't even really notice the change rate. Like, you know,
I don't fucking change it.
So you play the slowest op in the game, so having other people slow it down as much, you don't notice it as much. So so that wasn't.
And I'm also not a fucking person who goes around corners jiggle peeking every 5 seconds. So therefore, like I'm not gonna care for it at all.
Exactly, which was also a nice change in the way of 3 armors because you know 3 armors are a little bit better now. I think 3 armors. I think they're the most even they'll ever get between a 3 armor and a 3 speed. I don't think there's really much else they can do to ever really change that.
You know it's good when people are still playing Zofia and she's a 3 armor.
Exactly, that's a good point.
Yeah,
which
like I don't think we have any. I don't think we have any ops that are like frag like that are 3 armors right now, other than Zofia.
Sledge.
On attack. Oh, well, we have Sledge, yeah.
Sledge and Zofia.
I'm talking about with prior to changes, though. I mean, like, I don't think before we had operators who were 3 armors on attack and could, like, frag out. If you know what I mean. You
Gridlock.
only had what? That's not, I don't support.
People like that F90, and people do good with that F90. She is built for more of a support, but people do tend to.
That's what I mean. Like, you don't, like, I'm talking about, you won't pick
Oh,
Gridlock saying, yo, I need a fragger. Go Gridlock right
yes.
now.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yes.
Yeah.
Um.
Like, I right now could say, yo, we need a fragger. Go Zofia, go Sledge right now. I can go for that. I don't see it on Gridlock, though.
No, I
Not saying,
I get
she's a
what you
bad
mean
op.
now. I get what
Yeah,
you mean
yeah.
now. Yeah, the general perception, you don't just pick her and
Hmm.
be like, I need to frag.
Yeah.
Whereas now, yeah, you have Zofia, Sledge, kind of Osa as well. All three armors that
Yeah.
can
I
generally
think
frag pretty well.
Osa's
She's
I
like
think
50
Osa's
50.
change was 50-50. I think hers was more needed because when you're Osa and you're placing your shield down, you're exposed, and you she was a 2-2 before, right?
Correct.
2-2. Yeah, you were getting down and killed while placing that shield down. Now that you're a 3 armor, you can tank some of those bullets and be okay. So
Yes.
I think that one was needed for her.
Yeah, hers was good. I know one that you specifically are not the biggest fan of was the Dokkaebi one.
I hate it. Hate it. She was good enough before, honestly. She was good enough before. I like the dead people on not being able to see cams. That I think the time for that has to change. The timing for that has to be changed. Because what is it?
12 seconds.
12 seconds. Lower that to like 7, if anything. Like 12 is so long. That's so vital. Like think about it. Like Maestro, how long does it take to actually zap a person to death while they're planting? I think it's
If it's a
the full
3-speed,
plant. It's the full plant, like right? Like
well, if it's a 3-speed, it takes the full charge of his thing to
yeah, his
100%
thing,
for 0 because they get 20 shots, 5 per shot.
which is 7 seconds because planting is 7
About,
seconds.
yeah.
So around 7 seconds. That's all you need, honestly. There's no reason it should be 12. 12 is ridiculous. That's way too much. And then the fact that she's a fucking one armor 3-speed, no. She's just so annoying to play against now. I don't like it. Just bring her back to 2-2 and you're fine. I'm fine. 2-2.
Which is funny, right? I don't think I think it's for Dokkaebi, right? I do get where you're coming from. I do agree. I don't think the change actually buffed her like a crazy amount. It buffed her amount of play, like because people like see her as a 3-speed now. You're like, oh, I got.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And
yeah.
that's what's annoying. Dokkaebi is a character that will always be strong. Her annoyance more comes from her prevalence. The more you see.
Oh yeah, 100%. She's not broken. She's just annoying per se. Like and it's hard to counter Dokkaebi almost because the only way you can counter her is being near a mute jammer. That's it.
Yes.
Or just don't bring people with fucking cameras, and that's it. Which why would you ever do that? Because this game's all about intel. So Dokkaebi's counter is mute, and I don't even consider that a counter, considering that most of the time you're gonna have your mute jammers on site. So when it comes down to those roamers and dead people, I think it's more annoying when you're dead and the phone call is going off for 12 seconds. I think it hinders a lot of the defense. It just don't like it. I say 7 seconds. Just make it as long as the plant time is, and you're good. I think that's fine.
They probably have to
12 seconds too long.
The call time down to 7 seconds as well, just to make it consistent. But that also probably wouldn't be that bad either.
That's not bad neither. Then
yeah,
I think that's all. That's all you need to hear. Why would you be? Because if you think about it, 12 seconds. Why would you give a phone call if nobody's near you? You know what I mean? Like so. Like let's say you're playing Coastline, you're on VIP balcony, and you have a feeling somebody's gonna be in theater or something. You give a phone call. That's all you need to do because that shit's gonna last 12 seconds. You're gonna hear it, and if you don't hear it, obviously they turned the phone call off. So like you had enough time to push up, if that makes sense.
Nope. 100%.
Like I think 12 seconds is too long. That's a nerf she's gonna need. 7-second call is fine for me.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Who else had a change? Sledge. I think Sledge was good.
Yeah, Sledge was fine.
I'm still thinking attackers, like attacker wise.
We're still on attackers.
Sens, beautiful. Love it. I see so much more gameplay of her now. Or them. I love it. I love it. Sens is great. Sens is a great op. Always has been a good op, but again, I've always asked for that change because they couldn't keep up with their gadget.
Yeah, that was like the only other thing now that they have to fix with the character, which is more of like a not so much a balancing issue as it seems to just be like an inconsistency issue, is the fact that the hitbox on it seems way too large, and it still tends to roll off of random things. But as I said, I don't think that's as much balancing as it is just like I don't
It's
think
just
they
like
intended
it's
it for it to
the
be like
game.
that.
Yeah.
Um,
That one's probably gonna be a hard one to fix, but I do agree because there are times I use sends and I'm trying to get it to A and it's going all the way to fucking B type shit.
mhm.
But other than that, I think they're a great op now. I think
I
sends is a great op.
I think if the character sees a lot of play, which still hasn't seen like an incredible amount of play, but there is one thing about that character that is unique kind of to that character in the current meta, is
Mm-hmm.
they're the only, minus like a few exceptions, um, they have access to ACOG on the primary weapon as a
Mm-hmm.
3 speed. I think the only other two are Habana, which makes sense. Habana's a hard breacher, and then IQ, but only on the AUG. So I wouldn't be surprised if that character ends up seeing a lot of play if they take out certain
Doka be
heroes.
now too. Doka be now too. Remember
I guess, yeah, but
because
not full
the
auto.
DMR. I'll full auto. Yeah.
Yeah, like, um, so I've been enjoying playing the character for that reason. Being a three
Mm-hmm.
speed, sometimes with an ACOG feels nice for repositioning. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets toned down if the character ends up seeing a lot of play, but in the current meta,
I don't
I
think
doubt
they'll
that'll
see.
ever
Yeah, they're not.
happen.
Yeah, they're
So
not gonna see that much play.
that is
No.
a nice, unique aspect to the character that you don't see a lot on attack anymore.
Who else got to change?
Thatcher is 3 armor.
Nobody cares about him. He gets banned all the time.
Yeah, it
Or
didn't
or
really
good.
change too much.
Trying to see who.
Zero,
As far
3
as
speed.
did Zero get changed? I didn't even realize that. To
Zero
be honest,
was 2 to 3 speed.
it's crazy because I play him all the time. I didn't realize. Oh man. Did somebody else get a change? I could have swore.
I'm looking at your stream and it just shows the operators over our face.
Oh, does it? I didn't even realize. That's actually
No, you're
hilarious.
good. It's just hilarious.
Wait, did it do screen capture? Is that why? Okay, yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, I didn't see anybody else on attack that I ever realized at least, so can't be that significant.
I
All right, defender wise,
Yeah, I think that was it.
I think that was it. Honestly,
Defenders.
defender
Mute.
starting off mute, and I don't. I understand the mute. I don't understand why they wouldn't do it to smoke.
Yeah, I think
That part
Smoke could have
confuses
used
me.
it more. Obviously, any chance to nerf Smoke, I think should be implemented at least for a little bit. Like just
He's
some
been too
small
good,
stuff.
too good for too long. Honestly, like he's not obviously. I don't even think he's A plus plus tier, but I think he's A tier because he does everything a defender needs. And there's never a time I'd say at least from a pro lead standard, there's never a time you don't see smoke. Honestly,
No.
you see smoke almost every time. If smoke's available, if he's not banned for the map, he's getting picked. So his pick rate's there. Win rate there is there. I think he needs a nerf, and it wouldn't even be a nerf. It's just a balance. Say, I'd rather keep him at a 3 armor 1 speed, considering that he's going to be an on-site person.
Mm-hmm.
As to where mute, you actually do see a lot of roaming mute, considering there are a lot of places that do need the mute jammers, they need the rotations and all that.
I think that's the biggest one. I think Mute being a 3 armor for gunplay is actually fine. Like I think for gunplay, for where he plays, for how he does, I think it's great. I think the big issue that people have with him being a 3 armor now is that setup, and I kind of get that. He was already kind of tough in some circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Now if you bring a Mute, you basically guarantee that's one person that can't reinforce, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know how exactly like you change that without like fundamentally changing his gadget to like a throwable or something, which I'm not advocating for at all.
From what I heard, from what I saw, Bikini also posted this one as a change too. Make it to where he can stick his jammer on a wall.
Yeah, that might make him a little bit
like
quicker
actually
as well.
place it on a wall.
I did see that
like a
video.
bulletproof, bulletproof almost. Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah, you could do that, which would make him a little bit, at least, more smooth to play. It wouldn't outright buff his speed, but then you'd feel a little bit more smooth to play because, well, maybe you don't get as far, but you're actually able to fully stop a wall again. But
yeah, I think if you want to do anything, just switch the just me personally. I don't think this might not will fit for everybody, but I think just switch smoke and switch mute speed armor.
Yeah,
I think that'll be fine. I don't mind mute being a 2/2 again. It's fine. I think smoke out of all the SAS ops could use that if anything.
Yep, I would agree with that. There was also Ella.
Mm-hmm.
That one was weird. I don't really see the need for that.
She is
one.
what 2/2 now.
She's a 2/2. I
That's
don't
fine.
hate it. It was just she didn't. I remember seeing in the dev blog that she started seeing some rise in play, and I think they were kind of worried that like any rise in play could
Mhm. I don't
be.
think uh I don't think there's ever going to be a time where you don't see a roaming Ella or just a gunning out Ella. I don't think there's ever a time you'll see an anchored Ella. Period.
That's
So
what I.
it,
So
like
that's what I
you
figured.
can make her a 3 armor, and I think there'll still be roaming Ellas all over the place. Uh, I say with Ella, I wouldn't even mind her being a 3 armor now. Give her impacts back though. We all know everybody's gonna roam with Ella. Period. You might as well make her a full on. Just keep her in her own section. Let her be the roaming piece of shit she is. And yeah, just simple as that. I don't know. I didn't see the 2-2 nerf coming at all either. I just didn't think it was necessary.
Yeah, I
Just
never thought
considering,
it was
because like
necessary.
the only reason I say it's not necessary is because people are again are just gonna just play her the same way she was, as if she was a 3 speed 1 armor. It wouldn't make a difference.
Nope.
She's just in a category that she's just gonna be a complete fragger the whole time.
Yep.
So I'd say if you want to nerf her, get rid of her shield, because for some reason they just keep giving they continuously save the shields under ops that don't need it. Like their presence
Yes.
enough is good enough as it is. For instance, smoke. Get rid of smoke shield, honestly.
Yes.
If you want to see less gameplay from him, take away the shield.
Yeah.
Ella, take away her shield. Like just stop giving it to ops that are already great for your setup.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind
It,
seeing a bit of a shield reshuffle. You know, you take it off of
mm-hmm.
like Alibi, Ella, Smoke characters
Yep.
that don't need it, and give them to more anchor focused characters that aren't.
Give Rook a shield.
Yeah, that was another one in bikini. That was about a. There was another one in Bikini's video that I was about to bring up was Rook Shield.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why not?
Why not? Yeah. Because all he brings to the table is literally just his armor. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Utility, what does he have? He has impacts and proxy?
Yes.
Impacts proxy.
So yeah, you could
Like
give
you
him
can
the
break. There's
shield.
other ops that have that do so much more.
Yeah, so I wouldn't mind seeing a shield
Yeah.
reshuffle, like how we just saw
Yep.
a speed reshuffle. It'd be kind of nice for the game.
Yep.
This next character does actually have a shield. In Echo, he was made a 2-2. Another really weird one, I think.
You think so? I like it.
I don't hate it. I just, you know, he was like one of your staple anchors like throughout the game's life, throughout all time. It just, you know, it was just a weird change.
I think the thing is though, the way I think they probably looked at it, when you play Echo, you don't play on site. You play off the site in a well hidden area, and then you let your
That's
drones play the
true.
site.
That's
So
true.
like let's say for instance you want to get back to site because you know the enemies know where your drones are for site. You want to at least be able to get back to site and start switching back and forth in areas. You know what I mean? So I think they just wanted him to play off his gadget a little more rather than just completely relying on the gadget. Because if you play on site with Echo, you're probably the easiest person to kill ever, honestly. So I think they wanted to change that so that when you are in a different location hiding and letting your Echo drones play site, you want to be able to get back to site without having to be so slow. So I kind of agree with the change. I like it. I think he's balanced as of right now.
Oh
I think
yeah,
he's fine where he's at. It is a change I didn't see coming. I won't lie. It's a change I didn't think I would ever see, but I look at it now and I'm like, it's actually a really good change to be honest. Who else? We have Malusi.
yep.
3 armor.
3 armor from 1 speed.
Yep.
I think she was the
Nah, I liked
only
it.
character to like jump the medium speed. I think everyone else like only switched like up or down 1 tier. I think she was the only one that completely jumped. Yeah, I like it. Incentivizes playing more off the banshees. I wouldn't mind
I
her
just
getting a
generally like it.
1.5 now that she's a 3 armor. Is the
Oh
only
yeah,
thing.
MP5 fucking sucks, so I wouldn't mind it either. I
But
think a 1.5 on her gun is fine.
other than that, yeah, she's in a fine spot.
Okay.
The one that
Who
I
else?
actually really liked for the defenders was a Rooney 3 armor.
I like that actually as well.
Yeah.
I do. I like that one a lot. I think because what was she before? 2-2?
She was a 2-2.
2-2. 2-2. It's hard to say. I like it, but I think I like it because of how good it is though. Because a 3 armor on defense with a DMR it's so fucking good. And then you have a 1.5 on top of that.
Yeah, it changed. So yeah, it changed her ability to like frag out on site a little bit better. But now she struggles to run out more, which is nice, right? Because she,
Sure.
of course, could one hit the barricades, and I think that was their goal, was making it so that way, if she wants to like play off site for that run out or
It's
drop
gonna
down
be
in a
a
hatch,
it's gonna be more of a struggle to do so. Yeah.
exactly, you're punished more for it. You can't get back to site as easily, all that stuff. So all in all, while she might be a little bit stronger as an anchor, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Um, and if worse
Who
comes to
else?
worse, right, you take away that 1.5
Hmm.
and it solves
Yep.
that issue as you were just talking about. I don't think they'll ever have to, um, bar like a like utility meta coming back and she being like because she's the only one that's like versatile for both drones and throwables. Bar
Yep.
that coming back, you probably don't have to. So she's in a good spot right now. I'm happy where she's at.
Hmm.
I
I
think
think I like her spot.
I,
Is that it for the
I think
defense?
that's all the speed changes. Yeah. I don't think there was really. I think that was like our
Trying to
only really
think.
big balancing changes, right?
What was it? What does the order go? Smoke, mute, pulse, castle. Isn't pulse is pulse gonna get changed? No, he's not, right?
He got a 1.5 like last
But that was
season.
a while
Yeah,
ago.
that
Yeah.
was last season.
I don't think he got a speed change. Did he? No.
No.
He's 2-2 still, right? Yeah. Castle, Doc, Rook,
Here, I'll pull up the
Tachanka,
notes
Capcan,
right now.
Jaeger, Bandit, Valk, Cav, Ying, or I said Ying, Legion. Uh, yeah, nothing I can really think of.
Here, I'm pulling up the patch notes right now. Just make sure we get everything.
I'm trying to think of opposite else we play with. No, nothing I can think of honestly. Nothing else on speed changes. I think everything's good. I like it. I like all the changes. I know a lot of people were very upset with the changes that when they first got announced, but I think they're all perfectly fine now. I don't mind them
Yeah,
at
it looks
all.
like those were. Oh, there was also the hip fire change, which nobody even.
What was the hipfire one?
You're always at like your hip fire is always at like the standing.
Oh, okay,
With.
gotcha.
Oh, actually, okay, there are some balance changes here, but another really big one was gadgets being side colored.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. I like it.
It's really good for
Get
new
used.
players.
It's good for new players. Makes it easier. Like again, I think they're going towards that that universal change kind of thing. Like where one thing's like this, so should the other thing kind of thing. So I like that. There is a bug going around that drones are the same color as your teams for some reason. Like if you'll see drones that have blue for some reason, and if you have blue on as your team color for some reason,
Hmm.
it just shows up as blue. I don't know why.
That doesn't surprise me that there's a bit of an issue with that because those are one of the few things that can change colors throughout the round. So
Yeah.
there'll probably be some hiccups there because yeah, drones and cameras can switch between your color, the enemy color, and white.
Yep.
So that doesn't surprise me too much. I'm sure I have faith that that'll get hashed out here probably pretty
Yeah.
quick. It's
It's
pretty
not that
simple.
big of an issue. Yeah,
No.
it's not that big of an issue.
Um,
Uh,
there are some
what else?
smaller balancing changes that I did find on the patch notes.
Mm-hmm.
The 6P41 got another nerf on console, so that must have still been pretty strong on console.
Okay.
AK12 got a damage point reduction of 5 points from 45 to 40.
Still the same thing.
Yeah, it
I'm
doesn't
telling
really
you,
change it too much.
it doesn't change the AK whatsoever.
Uh,
Still, mm,
C7E went from 25 bullets in the mag to 30.
okay, yep. Because they did change the recoil to it.
Yep.
I remember. Yep. So.
FMG got a slight recoil increase.
Yep.
And Alibi lost to 1.5.
Alibi. While I think that nerf doesn't do anything, it does for the sake of people being crutch for the 1.5. So.
Yep.
I have seen a decrease in alibi players, which is okay by me, considering that the gun is still a little broken. Like I play it with no fucking scope whatsoever, because I'm the troll I am. But
yeah, you just hide as your
the clone,
prismas.
yeah. But like the fire rate on it is still ridiculous. It's almost up there with the Roni almost. But either way, no 1.5 less players. I'm fine with that. Good change.
So yeah, all in all, really good balancing changes this season. I don't think there's really anything to
Yeah,
complain about.
I think all balances have been
They've
pretty
been
good.
they've been
Nothing
doing
I can
really
complain
good as a
about.
general rule with it. I don't think they've done anything from, how do I put it, from a not like monkey perspective, like not someone who just goes in a rank and frags for like montages or whatnot.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything for anybody to really complain about. There's stuff for people like that to complain about if that's what you do. I mean, teach
yeah.
their own, I guess, because it is
That's
still part of the game.
yeah, it's a subject I want to get touched on as well. What Siege can do to possibly slow down the monkey and run and gun gameplay, the Call of Duty players. I think change the multiplier, the hitbox multiplier for headshots. Macy is probably one of the first people to talk about it. I'd like to see less one shot headshot. Obviously, if you have like somebody like Cali, or you have like I don't know, like a Deagle or a DMR, like that can do one shot headshots. But like, I feel like change the multiplier at this point.
Well, I think
It,
I'll let you
it's
finish.
not so yeah, it's not so much more that it's people are getting one shot headshots. It's more so that's the mentality that I think that's what allows people to run in and play like that. Like they'll go in the game thinking, well, I can get this guy as long as I hit my shot on the head. So if I'm running in and just playing Ash main no brain, like, and I can hit my headshots, I'm good then. That's the mentality. That's also why people just consistently spawn peek and run out, because as long as I can possibly I have the possibility to hit the headshot, then I'm good then. Regardless if they win that gunfight or lose that gunfight, that's their mentality. Now you get rid of one shot headshot and or just up the multiplier, not one shot headshot, but you get rid of the multiplier that's currently on. Uh, you'll probably reduce a lot of that gameplay. That, and I think you need to rework the point
Yes,
system. I
we
think
talked about that
we touched
last.
on the last one,
Yeah,
but
we
that needs to get it has to change. I think that has so much influence on how people play. You see 100 plus points on a scoreboard, you're gonna be like, oh, that feels so good. Somebody bandit tricks a wall, you got 10. What was it like? I think it's 20,
25,
20 plus. I think it's 20.
something like that.
I think it's 25, considering that you put a bandit down.
Because I think you
Like,
get, or no, I think it's 30. Because I think you get 10 for the down, so the first time you place it, plus 20 for
mhm.
destroying a gadget
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
So
With your bandit charge. Yep. So yeah, that's I think the point system just needs a total rework. Again, we touched on it last time, but I just think they need to come up. Just I think it'll change a lot of this stupid Call of Duty gameplay that we've been seeing a rise in again.
mm-hmm.
It's just annoying. Like literally, we played last night, and all we saw was people just spawn peeking and running the fuck out every single time. It's annoying. There's no tactical gameplay to Siege anymore. You can like I've been watching so many other streamers play this game, and I swear I see rounds end in less than 45 seconds, almost all the time.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there with the idea of tackling the mentality over the ability to actually do it, like above all
Yeah,
else. Because there are some times, right, where you don't want to slow down the gameplay so much that
yeah.
it feels like it's impossible to do, some crazy stuff.
So
Because
yeah, mhm.
that increases, viewership for like pro league and stuff when if someone's able to
Yeah,
win a 2v1 on a crossfire that was really
mhm.
difficult, right? So I think you're actually onto something that hasn't really been touched on before. That the mentality would be better to try and to adjust rather than the
Yeah,
actual core gameplay itself.
hmm
Um, which maybe what you do with that then too is like you maybe you give each gun a unique multiplier on its headshots, right? And you put it
yeah,
in the stats like that are with the rest of them. So you
yeah.
can
So you know what you're supposed to hit. Yeah,
exactly, right?
mhm.
So rather than like hiding it, right? So you put it in there, right? So you either put like the damage headshot multiplier or like what damage it would do, period. So let's say you're
Mhm.
looking at your stats.
Yep.
You look at like the R4C. R4C does I think 39 damage per shot, and you can see on there,
Mhm.
oh, if I hit the head, it only has a like 2 damage multiplier, right?
Mhm.
So that only brings me up to, my brain is dying, 78.
We get this. Yeah.
78, right? So oh, okay, if I try and aim for the head on that, it's not as beneficial. But then you
Mhm.
go and look at something like the UMP. Oh, it has the 36. Well, it has a 3 times damage multiplier, so it just crosses that threshold.
Yeah. Yep. there's that, and then it will also get rid of just people trying to consistently just randomly shooting through fucking walls just to be like, maybe I'll get a lucky headshot. Because there are times we all just have a good position, but then somebody's just spraying through a fucking wall and I die to it. It's just like, well, one shot headshot. That's the reason I died. No, there's no skill to it whatsoever. It's just somebody randomly spraying. Like, all you need is for somebody to tell you, yo, there's somebody in this room, just to just start spraying through the room, and then you get a one shot headshot and it works out.
Yep.
It was cool probably like year 1 and 2 where it was like, again, the game's new. Like, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe I got that. Nowadays, everybody's caught on like, okay, we got one shot headshot. I have what, 6 mags allowed in
6.
the whole
I think
round?
you have
6?
150 plus your regular for like your standard weapon.
Yeah. So six rounds. I can dump a whole mag dump a whole 3 mags if I have to. Through random walls. So yeah, I think getting rid of upping the multiplier would probably work out a lot more in the way Siege should be played. Just sick and tired of fucking monkeys running around and killing people.
Yeah, I think that's been the biggest frustration for this season, which we can move on to that if you want, is we just obviously touched on the balancing changes and how we're both very in favor of all of them. But what has made this season unfun for me is the way people play. Like, whether that be, as we were talking about, just monkeys, I have seen some of the I've seen personally some of the most toxicity this season. I don't know why. We just had the reputation system added, and I've seen more people leave like ranked games and like actively throw this season than I ever have, which I wouldn't. Again, this isn't on the side of Ubi. They have just implemented a system to try and prevent that stuff, and it's
in beta still though, so there's that too.
And we can talk about how typing in chat just drops it periods more often than not. But
turn it off.
Of course, and anybody watching, anybody new to getting into Rainbow, I'd recommend just turn off all chat, even team chat if you feel it's necessary. It's very rare that it's used for positive reinforcement. There are times, but those times are far outweighed. We talked about that last episode. You can find that on there.
The toxicity of the season has been pretty outlandish too. Again, I have my all chat off, so I really don't get to experience it full on. But yeah, when voice comms come through, I get the worst of it. I don't know why. I swear, I try to be the most positive person I can to random people. Like, we'll be in a 4-stack, we get that one random person, but like, I'll try to communicate with the person, and just it's so toxic for no reason. I don't understand it. I don't know why that's a mentality, but. And then, like you said, reputation system. For some reason, if like people can just spam report you, which is ridiculous to me, and then your reputation goes down. Again, it's in beta. It's in beta, so we'll give forgiveness for that. We'll wait till next season, obviously. So
and I think even to credit Ubisoft a little bit here, I think even they realize there's going to be some hiccups with it, because I don't think the reputation system, other than like turning off like all chat and stuff like that, I don't think it actually affects gameplay yet. Like, I don't think if you're in the bottom, I don't think it actually prevents you from playing the game the way it.
I think you do get penalty.
Do you? Okay, see.
I think I saw a couple people on Twitter post it that there is penalty for it. Like, you get voice banned or something like that. You'll get voice banned. Like, you can't communicate to teammates at certain points if you're toxic enough.
Okay, so that's fine, because I knew at one point they were going to add it so that way you couldn't play like ranked if you were stuck in like the lowest.
Yeah, they were gonna add that. Yeah,
I don't think it is in the game, and I don't think it should be with the current state it is in, because
because they were gonna have 0 players in it.
Exactly, right. So once they get that hammered out, hopefully that'll fix the issue, because I've had so many games solo queuing, people just leave, people like just actively throwing or whatnot. I mean, at the end of the
I think that also has to fall into how the rank 2.0 works.
Right. Do you want to get into that?
Sure, we can do that.
All right.
I think the reason people leave is because they know they're only going to lose 9 RP. And that's for the people who obviously don't play that much. So like, if you're only like, this is your 6th game and you're seeing you're only down 1-2, like you said, there's toxic people. You're only down 1-2, but the frustration got to that person. They're going to leave knowing they're only losing -9 RP. So that's that. Yeah. I think this season was a bit too easy to get champ. At least on my end. I know there are people who say it, but they don't ever get champ. Which boggles my mind.
it seems it's very weird. Like I heard like through
Mm.
pubbles like that when you hit champ, like you were happy for it, but it to him it sounded like it wasn't like hitting champ the season
No,
before, which
at all.
a lot of people do share that sentiment, and that's fair. um Especially given somebody, for example, if you finished, because I think they just went off the soft reset from last season to
Yeah.
try and place you, which is fair. I understand why they did that. But basically, for people who don't know, the way the current rank system works, when your RP starts to match your hidden MMR, it'll then start to even out your games. A lot of people didn't understand this at the very beginning, which was fair. They kind of didn't make it the most apparent to everybody. But that's when you start getting your plus 40, negative 40. It'll start to even out when you get there. And that works fine.
That's how
in
it's
theory.
supposed to work.
Yeah. The problem is if you go, like, if you, let's say, start in copper, right? And you finished, well, like you're starting copper this season and you finished low plat, or let's just even say plat last season.
Mm-hmm.
If you're winning your games, that will start to boost your hidden MMR. And by
Yep.
the time you catch up to it, it's already in champ. So
Mm-hmm.
because of that, you are getting that plus 80 all the way up until champ, which that's where the issue I think really arises. I think
Yeah,
that
because I was 30 games into champ, still getting plus 70.
exactly. That should not happen.
Though do say, I did get rolled back, and I think I like, but at that time I think I was like 600 RP into champ, and I think I got like 300 like taken away from me from rollback.
Hmm.
So there's that, but I also have never gotten rollback back. So, but anyways, back onto Ring 2.0.
So yeah, I do agree that in some aspects, see, how do I put it? I get the
Mm-hmm.
idea that it is too easy this season. I don't think that's necessarily the worst thing if you do one thing. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the player base can support this, but I do remember back in Invitational 2020, they had
Mm-hmm.
teased a in-game, like, where you have to 5 stack like ladder, like competitive mode.
Mm-hmm.
I think having
Mm-hmm.
ranked be more of a like a ladder climb, how it is right now, is
Mm-hmm.
fine if that comes in. And then you have people
Yeah.
that actually like want to fight for that climb every match.
Yeah.
But as I just said, I don't know if the player base can support it at the current time.
Yeah, probably not right now, if anything.
So that's a
Yeah.
bit of a rough thing. Because yeah, having ranked be like a ladder climb where it is right now is actually
Mm-hmm.
great for player base. Having people feel like they can hit higher levels by playing the game, it helps them like feel like they're
Yeah.
learning more, and they actually do learn more.
And then progressing.
Exactly. Now
Rather than
obviously,
getting for that rather than getting that 10 placement shit and then luckily getting plat 1, you play 3 games, get diamond, call it a season. Plays
where
13 games, calls it. Like,
there are now on the opposite side of that, there are issues where like the new issues caused by the current season, there are people who
mm-hmm.
were actually stuck in copper like all the way before then and are now hitting champ because they're still playing against copper players, which that
Yeah.
kind of sucks because they're not actively learning stuff still. They're still playing
They're
against
just playing they're playing against those coppers and they hit an MMR. Yeah.
exactly,
I
right?
agree.
And
Yep.
that kind of sucks because the idea behind ranked is that you learn more, you improve your skill to get better.
Mm-hmm.
The old system punished you for not like didn't matter if you were learning, you could still be losing more, right? The old system punished you for that. The new system rewards not learning stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
I will admit it's
Yeah.
not consistent across the board, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like Ring 2.0. I like it though.
all
I
in
think
all,
it's like all in all, yeah. I like that you have to actually do a little something in order to get a rank. Like there's a ladder to it, pretty much, like you said. There's a ladder to it, and I like it.
and nine
I'm
times out
fine
of
with
10
that.
that ladder does work. Not
Yeah,
like 9 times out of 10 I will say
I'd
that
say.
those cases
Mhm.
where a copper hits champ is pretty rare.
Yep,
It is, but it does happen.
I'd say the only benefit you would get last season with or just seasons prior to with the old rank system was that if you did have gold that ended up being in diamond elo somehow because they got a lucky placements, they would get shot right the fuck out of there because they shouldn't be in there. you would actually be going against diamonds that would then bring you out of that. As to where now, since you're a gold, just going against complete golds, you're going to progress up the champ and still play against golds the whole time.
100%.
Yeah, so
there are its flaws. I think they'll get worked
yeah.
out. I think this is a test season. I think your hidden MMR will change a little bit different next season. I think it'll be a little more consistent. So I do have faith. I think this is gonna be a test season. Because I've seen people who like should be hitting like high stuff like regular last season and like not through like just cheesing it, and they are struggling like in gold because they are facing those champ players and they just all in all, good change. Needs a bit of improvement, but I'm happy it's here.
Yeah, I like it. I like the rank 2.0. It's fun to play. There's no MMR or RP difference between teammates now, so you can play with any one of your friends.
That's also really good.
So that's fun to do. Miss that. I'd say it's good considering the fact I've been seeing a lot of friends who don't play ranked, like have never played ranked, playing ranked now. So
yes,
obviously they're doing something right. I like it.
Yes.
So rank 2.0, I give it a W. I give it like if I had to scale it 1 through 10 of how good it is, I'd say it's like a 7, 8.
Would say I would say a 7 if that's what if I would say it's a 7 if you give a 5 to what was before.
Yeah.
Yep. Is basically what I would say. What I would personally say is the biggest change this season, maybe not quite as much for PC, but definitely for console, is of course crossplay, cross progression.
Yep, crossplay, cross progression. I wish I can speak on it. I don't play console, so
no.
Or I used to, so it's like that's what I'm trying to say. It's just like kind of a hard subject to touch on. I think it's a W period, but I wish I did play console so I can be like so I can grasp on a console player's mind and how they like it. I mean, I think it's a W regardless. I don't think anybody's gonna complain about it. But I do see a lot of console players also saying they want to play against PC.
We've talked about that.
We've talked about that, but I want to touch on it just to say, like, I would only be okay with it if a console player is stacked with a PC player.
Yeah. And then they only play PC players as well.
Yeah, and they only play against PC players. Maybe you get like one console player in there if they have it on.
They'd also have to be doing the same thing.
Yeah, they'd have to be doing the same thing exactly.
Yes.
Or if the system can somehow detect those MKers on console, they get shot right to PC players.
Wouldn't that that'd be a pipe dream right there?
Yeah, that would. I think every console player would fucking love it. But that's that. Again, like I don't think there's really much to talk on about cross progression other than the fact that it's a W.
Well, I
cross progression. Sorry, cross progression. I'm thinking cross play.
As well.
I'm thinking cross play. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was thinking cross play.
They're both one and the same basically, right? And I will have to say, I know I've said this a lot already this stream. I do have to give props for Ubisoft to actually properly, as a general rule, there were some issues, but I think they've all been resolved. That cross progression did not like overwrite one or other of the platforms. They actually properly merged. That was my biggest
some of them because I have some missing things, but it's whatever. I could really care less. I play a game enough, but I think it's a W period. I have a lot of shit that was on console that are now with me on PC, and it's perfectly merged. But there are some things that are missing. But it's a fucking video game. I can care less at the end of the day.
Well, I gotta say that because like I did not expect. I'll be honest. I did not expect Ubisoft to be able to. I thought one of them was gonna overwrite the other period. A lot of games have issues with that, especially with this one not being built with that with the ground up. That was their biggest issue before. So for me to have like my old skins back from console without my new ones overriding what I had, like great.
Yeah, I think cross progression is a just big W period. I think we've all been waiting for it long enough. I think we were supposed to technically have it when Sens came out, but they held that back. But obviously for good reasons, because I think a majority of people have gotten what they needed from console or technically PC to console, whatever one you're playing on now. So yeah, cross progression is good. I like it. Really good. Love it.
Well, and it incentivizes people to have the ability to switch platforms more, right?
Oh yeah, that too, yeah.
So that will help stabilize the player base. It won't increase it as a general rule, right? But it'll make sure if someone leaves Xbox, They'll probably
Yep.
like if they get a PC, right? Then they'll show
Yep.
up on it at least. Try it out again
Yep.
on there. Um,
And if that
or
doesn't work out, you go right back to your Xbox. You're
right.
good.
So
Everything's the same. Yeah. What you have here, it's gonna be on there pretty much. That's a simple as that. I think they did really, really good on that. 100%. That is a W.
so
Uh,
think
mhm,
I think that's well because when we did our reality check for season 4, and we checked
mhm,
on everything that we thought was going to make it. I think the only thing that didn't, that
mhm.
I remember saying I don't know if it will, was the permanent arcade playlist, which
Yeah, I feel like nobody. I hate to be that person, but I don't think anybody's really gonna
pressed.
care for
Yeah.
yeah pressed about arcade play. To be honest.
So I guess with all of that with this season, I guess we can
Mhm,
answer the question from last episode. Did this season
mhm.
save the Year of Siege?
Yes and no. It's so hard because again we have the server issues and now the cheating is kind of back up. So if you're talking from like gameplay wise or just like aside from cheating and aside from the servers issues, I say yes. But because that is there, I have to say no as well because I feel like it's every weekend I'm trying to enjoy Siege and just servers are going down.
Yes, that is a serious issue. I
Yep.
would
So mhm,
I would say if you're looking at it from the perspective that the Year of Siege was meant to bring people back, it achieved
mhm.
that goal. If you were
Yes.
looking for a reason to come back to Siege, there's no reason not to right now, right? If
Oh yeah,
you
100%.
again like if you were on console, now play on PC, well now you get your stuff back. If you
Yep.
were looking for some new content, there's a new map,
Mm,
there is a new character, like and
mhm.
a stable, good character. There is some shakeup in the balancing that could be, interesting to a lot of players. So I think if you're looking at it from the idea that if you were gone and want a reason to come back in the Year of Siege,
Mhm.
season 4 is finally the reason to do it. But I do agree
Yep.
with you. I don't know if, how do I put it? The people who were still playing the game throughout the
Yeah.
year, I don't know if they are feeling particularly satisfied with the year in total.
Yeah, that's probably that would be our perspective on it. I don't think we're satisfied completely. I think it's a good like me and you have open eyes and an open mind. So we're looking at it from good eyes. I think me and you both can agree. I'd say the year is pretty good. I think it's good. Not great, not terrible. It was good. It was like all right. But like if I'd say again, if you're looking at it from a person who's trying to come back, I think yeah, you probably look at this year as a good year, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
as well. I
Better than
think like this is
last.
the probably yeah, definitely. I think this is probably the best year you can come back to as a Siege player. Actually, I have friends that I was just playing with a friend that was hasn't played Siege in a while, came back to Xbox and then wanted to play with me on PC. So and he has the pros progression, so he's
Exactly,
got
right?
everything.
And if
Yep.
that's what you wanted from the Year of Siege, it achieved that
Yep.
full
There
on.
you go. Got it.
So
100%.
got to give it there.
Yep.
And if anyone in the comments or the chat, right, if you returned back, like if there's a particular reason that made you return back, or if you're still waiting for something, like let us
Mm-hmm.
know. Curious
We
to
can talk about
hear,
it.
like, yeah, curious to hear if there's anything that anybody's still waiting for to come back,
Mm-hmm.
or if there's nothing that'll ever bring you back.
I say there is one thing I wish they did kind of put a little more effort into with the cross progression, and that's I think I talked about it. I wish they like put your experience level and they
Yep.
merged that better, like rather than just taking your highest one and just keeping it there. Because now I feel like all that console gameplay that I did with experience points just went to waste just now.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah,
fair. Um,
and well, I don't think we can get it back now, considering that it's overwritten now. Because that's the one thing that did get overwritten on everybody's
yeah.
thing.
Okay.
So I don't think there's a way to actually say, hey, this is the level I was. You got to add that now. So I think they're just gonna completely drop that now. So it's
Yeah.
again, it's whatever.
Well, because you
It's not
don't
gonna kill
get
anybody.
anything from it. I get what you mean because it shows like your how much time you've put into the game, right? And it
Yeah,
is something to show for that, but you don't gain anything tangible other than that number.
yeah.
So at the end of the day, I do agree. It's like, yeah, it would have been nice, but
It's not gonna kill you at the end of the day. It's fine. Yeah. That's about it for cross progression for me. Obviously, I think one thing I guess we don't have to talk about because like it's cheaters are gonna be cheaters, but there's been an uprising. Like the past 2 weeks. It's a holiday though, so that's It's not a surprise to me.
Yeah,
It happens every time. Every time this year it happens, so I'm not surprised.
it's just more worrisome because this was like their flagship idea for the anti cheat for the coming future of like what they're going to be moving forward with, and their
Hmm.
first big step for it did not
Hmm.
work, and
Yeah.
that's worrisome. Uh, it is the first step, as I just said, so it's like
Hmm.
there could be more that they have in mind that they're building off of, but they
Hmm.
really portrayed this as like this is going to be the solution moving
Yeah.
forward, and
Yep.
now it's like, is it though?
Is it though? Because the first 2 weeks, I won't lie. Like when it first did, it seemed like something was working, like something was really going for it. And now all of a sudden, oh, I'm just playing against cheaters nonstop,
Mm-hmm.
even down to casual. Like ranked, I was like, cool, whatever. Maybe it's just here and there. Let's just go down to unranked. Unranked, it was happening too. I'm like, all right, let's go to casual. Casual, it's happening all over the place now. Yep. So, uh, cheating's gonna be cheating. So there's not really much to talk about. It's that time of the season where kids are getting fucking money from their parents and crap and just blowing it on cheats. So
Well, see,
not surprised.
that's the worries. That was the stuff we were hoping that this new idea. And for anybody who's not familiar, I think they called it the quarterback. Like I think it's called like
QB.
the
Yep.
QB
It's
like
called
update
QB.
to
Yeah.
the anti cheat. The idea behind it was so currently the way the game worked, right? The game is a door, right? If you represent it as a door, and each
Hmm.
person and the door has the same lock for everybody. So no matter whose key you grab, you can open that door. They changed
Hmm.
it so everybody's door was now a different key. So you needed a
Yep.
unique key to access it. So you needed a unique way to modify that key.
Yep.
So the idea behind that is like cheats were going to become more expensive. So because they're going to take longer to create, and each one is going to have to be a little bit more personalized. So the idea of each individual person having, or each, how do I put it? The cheats would go up in price, so like people like little Timmy that just gets their mom's credit card probably won't be able to buy it. But that
Yeah.
doesn't seem to have worked, and that's what's worrisome.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it also might have to do with updates as well. Because remember, Sieges is spaghetti coding with every single thing.
Yep,
So an update might have just maybe slipped and just fucked up the whole
that's
coding with
possible.
the cheats. So that's what I'm leaning on. I'm leaning on that. Hopefully that's what's actually going down. It's just, and also on top of that, you gotta remember everybody's human. Ubisoft employees have families and all that. They're
Mm-hmm.
probably on holiday as well. So once they're all back at work, I imagine the cheating will probably go back down. So that's that. We have somebody who said, "Do you think console will get lean with no aim?" If you guys can find another button on your controller, sure.
Yeah, it's I remember like because you gotta think of like where are you gonna put it on your standard controller that not everybody has, especially now
Yeah.
with cross play on there. Because now if PlayStation right comes out with a new controller that has two extra free buttons on it, like their standard controller, that's the one you have to
Yeah.
use. The Xbox still doesn't have that, so probably not. Um,
And you
dude,
also remember we have PC players have 5,000 keybinds. So
yeah, you have a
it's
lot more
easier for us.
buttons. It's yeah, you got to figure out. Now, the only way I could see them allowing it, and I actually wouldn't be opposed to it because I remember having this idea back when I played console, is the
Hmm.
idea that if you 80, because it kind of works like this on PC as well. It does work like this on PC as well. If you ADS and lean and un
Hmm.
ADS, you are still leaned.
Yeah, you're still lean.
That was the one way I could see them doing that on console. Of course, in order to now unlean, you have
You
to
have to aim in
ADS.
and then come back, and then yeah,
So
that's
maybe make it so it's a feature you can turn on, right? You can turn on smart leaning on console, so that way if you lean while
maybe.
ADS, you pull out, you're still ADS or you're still leaned.
Yeah,
That would be the only way
maybe.
I could see doing it.
That'd be kind of cool.
Um, and yeah, you just make it a smart. There are many options like that. You know, look at drones, right? Droning. It used to be if you threw a drone out, like no matter what, you automatically got on it after.
Yep.
But you can now turn on a thing that makes it two separate keybinds.
Advanced droning. Yep.
Exactly.
Advanced droning. Yeah. That'd be interesting.
So that would
Yep.
be the only way I could see it happening, and they might as well test it. I don't see why they couldn't for that reason. I mean, there's so many things I'd like to see them just throw onto a test server just to say like let's try. And obviously you can't really do that with console because of the way test server works.
Yep.
But as a general rule, I would like to see them test so many more things on the test server. We call back to the one shot headshot. Throw
I
that on
think
test server.
streamer mode isn't even on console. I don't think streamer mode's on console either right now. It's not.
I'm
It's
not
not.
sure if anybody's on console and can answer. Be much appreciated. I know match replay wasn't for like a full year after it
No, I
released.
know match replay is now. I don't think
It is
streamer mode
now,
is.
but
Yeah, it is now. Streamer mode isn't though. I'm pretty sure. I think I want to because I think Jinx is a console player. Yeah, I don't think he has a. I don't think streamer mode's a thing in consoles of right now. Not sure why, but it's not. I think it's just hard to probably merge the console name between Uplay
yeah,
name.
because they probably
Yeah,
have to like figure out a way like if Xbox wants to censor a PlayStation name, there's probably
yeah,
some sort of
hmm
way that they can't do that.
yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like probably weird considering that again they're merged because of crossplay. Like if you're on Xbox with streamer mode, it's probably only going to censor out those Xbox players as to
Hmm.
where a PlayStation player isn't going to get censored. It's probably
There might
something
be
like that.
yeah, that would actually make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah, we have somebody in chat that said it's not. So,
Okay.
yeah, streamer mode isn't.
All right. Well, that
Yep.
is good to know. Um,
Um,
was there
Anything else?
really much else about the season? I don't really think so.
Uh, Nothing I can think of. I think we touched on pretty much everything. No, we got Solus.
I
Talked
guess
about.
the map was the only other thing.
I think it's a good. I don't think there's really much to touch on other than the fact that I think people are starting to open up that it's a good map because I see pro players saying it's a good map.
Yes, this is the
I
first
see pro
time
players. I see content creators saying that they want to see it in pro league.
That's
So
the first
I think
time
it's a good map.
that's happened. I think my only issue with the map, which is
Hmm.
not in it, like, how do I put it? The map layout
Hmm.
from like if people still had that mentality that they have had for the last seasons, which thankfully they don't for this one, even
Hmm.
though I thought it would be more prevalent because the map layout is not intuitive. Like,
Yeah.
if you look at most maps, right,
Hmm.
the like when you like think intuitively, right, your kitchen is going to be next to your dining room, right? On
Yep.
that map, for example, right, like a connector room between two like main hubs is a server room, right? It is just kind of weird. So like if you're trying to
I
think
get what you're
about that
saying. Yeah.
from like you
Like
look at the
logically.
map, yeah,
Logically. Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
trying to learn the map, it can be a little bit weird. My other gripe,
Hmm.
this one's huge. I can't believe it. The elevator doesn't line up.
What elevator?
There's an elevator on the map that goes to the roof, to the control room, to the hallway on the first floor. And it
You're
is
talking about like
pushed
the circle
back
shit. Yeah. The
and
one. Yeah.
a full 6 feet,
Hmm.
and I don't know why.
I think those are two different things actually, though. If I'm correct.
No, they're not. I went
The
looked up.
elevator. You're talking about the circle shit, right?
No,
Or
no. There's an actual like elevator,
Mhm.
in the control room, on the roof, and in the
Control
hallway
room.
on the first floor.
Oh yeah.
It
Okay,
just
yeah. I was talking about yeah.
I'm literally just poking fun at it,
No, I know what you're saying.
but
No. I was trying to figure out where you're talking about. No, now I know what you're saying. Okay, I
yeah,
got
I
it.
was just poking
It's in my
fun
mind.
at it.
Gotcha.
Other than that, I also really like it is really easy to make out a player on that map.
To make what?
It is really easy to make out a player on that map,
Oh yeah.
which is another really nice thing. When you see a player, we've had some issues with that with some more intricate map designs. That does not happen there, in my opinion,
Hmm.
because everything is very, very straight lines on that. Like everything is very edged, very, very cornered.
Yeah.
So that is a nice thing on that map.
I think it's also a benefit that they allowed that you can't ban it.
Yes, super nice change.
Love it.
That's probably been a bit of a reason to a bit of a warmer perception if I had to take a guess, because it's like, you ban your two maps, so it's now a 1 in 3, so you only have a 33% chance to play it. You do play
Mhm.
it. Once you play a map like once or twice, like you're forced to play it, you already will
Mhm.
know a lot more than the other. And especially because, right, like you join a 5 stack, you know someone
Mhm.
who's already played it once, they can tell you where to go for your first like 2 sites like really confidently, right? And that can also help warm up some
Yep.
reception. So
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I
that's
like the map. I think Nighthaven Labs is A tier map, not S, but A.
yep. I would agree with that.
Yep, I love it. Anything else?
No, I
Have we
think that's it
ever?
for the
Yeah,
season.
yeah, season. Again, I think the season's 7, 8. I think 8, solid 8, 8 for me. Me personally, personal level 8,
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with 8.
8. I think it's been a while since we've had anything. I think if I had to rate every season and all that, I think it's been a while since we had like probably an 8 out of 10 season. So
I think you could only say there was like 2 or 3 before then. So
yeah,
yeah.
because I don't think there was a single season that was perfect.
No,
Honestly,
God
nothing.
no.
No, God no. I don't think we've ever reached that siege level yet. So
I think if Parabellum didn't have a cheating problem, it would have been a 10. But Parabellum was the worst cheating problem.
yeah, I was gonna say
known to man.
Arabella was terrible. You had
If
fucking fuckers spinning in the sky and shit.
yeah, if
Nah.
Parabellum didn't have its cheating problem, Parabellum I think would be the only one that could say it's a 10. But it
Hmm.
was the worst out of the
It
two.
had
So
that. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I guess Invitational and Pro League stuff for a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's
Um,
6 invitational
I am
in a
hyped.
month. In a month and a week right now, actually. Exactly. I will be there in Montreal. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm hyped. First time we've had it in 3 years with an audience.
Yep.
How are you feeling about it? Excited? Like
Well,
I'm hyped.
yeah,
I'm hyped. I
I'm
speak about it
stoked.
almost every time. If you know me on Twitter, I speak about it every fucking time I can. I'm hyped
Well,
for it.
yeah, Invitational before was the only event that I've ever been to, so I'm super excited to go back. Super
There you
excited
go.
to meet a lot more people that I've connected with on PC throughout the last 2 years that I didn't know before then because I was on
Mhm.
console before that Invitational.
Okay.
So excited to meet a lot more people, like knowing them beforehand opposed to last
Mhm.
time. So that's a
Yeah.
huge excitement for me.
Yep.
uh, not looking forward to the cold.
Yeah, that Montreal cold
Yeah,
it can get fucking up there. But
um,
I'm excited. I don't think there's anything new that's gonna come from my end because I've been to almost every land I possibly can. So
yeah.
like yeah, I've seen almost everybody and everybody. Not to say I'm not excited to see them because I always am, but it's like I know everybody as to where compared, like you said, that was your first and ever land event for a siege. So
Yeah, it'll
I
be
imagine there's
Taylor's
plenty
first
more.
one
Oh, and Taylor's
this
first one. There
time.
you
Well,
go.
this time, yeah, it'll be Taylor's
Mhm.
first one.
And she's going as Ash, right?
Yeah, she's going as
There you
Ash.
go.
We get to see
There you
all the
go.
cosplayers.
There you go. Yeah, we get to see a lot of people this time now. A lot of people, and I think it's gonna be a really, really good one, considering that it's the first one we had again in 3 years.
It's back at
2020
Placebell, right?
play spell, correct?
Yeah,
Yep.
Placebell's a really nice stadium there as well.
Yeah. I think there's gonna. Somebody said there might be a struggle with us getting our cosplays in, but I imagine end of the day we'll be fine.
Really?
Cause yeah, somebody sent a message in one of our group chats and said play spells being kind of stubborn about cosplays. But I imagine again, like I said, I think we'll be fine end of the day.
I know last year they didn't allow really replicas of anything like firearm related, but or not last year,
Yeah,
but
that
last time.
last time, yeah, they won't again,
No, I
probably
know
most
they won't
likely.
do that again. I think the only two like props I really saw last time or three, there was Clash's shield they let in.
Yep.
Um,
Hot potato, I remember.
yeah,
Good
the
friend.
winter sledge. I can't remember her name.
Jane Till.
Jane
Jane Till.
Till. She had
Mm-hmm.
her hammer. That one I was
Mm-hmm.
actually really surprised they let in.
Mm-hmm.
And Hawks got his pest launcher in.
I was gonna say his plus launcher was in.
I think those were like the only
I think
two.
one person got their blitz shield in. I think it was my friend Ian.
Oh,
Friend Ian,
okay.
yeah, yeah, he got his
Nice.
blitz shield in, so that gives me hopes that I'll be able to bring my Monty shield in.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I think props are going to be the hardest thing, like actual like handheld props for obvious
Yeah,
reasons.
yeah, we'll see though. I think we'll be fine overall. It should be good. Should. I have no doubts about it. Again, I'm just super excited. We got a month and a week left. Month and a week,
Yeah,
and we'll
it's
be right
growing
there.
up quick.
Mm-hmm. Pumps will be there too, though. So,
Yep.
yep, he'll be rolling in with me. That'll be a fun 6 hour car ride with him.
Yeah, and of course if anyone's a fan of cosplayers, come feel free to come say hi. I'm
Yep.
always happy to meet people
I
who
think
want to
that's
play cosplayers.
so in Berlin Major when I went there, they had a photo shoot and a meetup for us as well. I think they said they'll try and plan something for that in invitationals as well. Like they'll give us our own kind of booth to do
Oh,
meet and
really?
greets. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
ooh. Okay.
Like so in Berlin they had a photo shoot, meet and greet for casters, pros,
Yeah,
and all that.
your
Yeah,
typical
yeah.
stuff.
So they also did it for us though, and we all just sat down there, posed, and then whoever wanted to take pictures or got their autographs was they had a line
Oh,
to wait to do
sweet.
it. Yeah. So and they said they might do it for us in Montreal as well.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
UB's been showing a lot of love towards the cosplayer community, which I just gotta say I really appreciate. Really
Oh yeah,
appreciate all of
100%.
that. You
Yep.
know, I mean, last invite was the first ever time we had like an actual cosplay panel. There was the actual
Hmm.
like speaker.
Yeah. Yep.
I can I
Forgot-
apologize. I
I
can't
forgot what
remember
her
her
name
name
was. Yeah,
is.
I can't
Yes,
remember. It was
but
the Zofia cosplayer. I remember
yes,
her too.
Sophia. She did another one too, but I can't remember. But she
She
was
did
as Sophia while she was
Zofia.
there.
She did Nomad.
Ah, that's
Uh,
nice.
the Nomad one was like in her video. Zofia. There was one more she did. And I can't remember which one it was. But either way, that was kind of cool that they showed love to a cosplayer.
Yes,
Yeah.
incredibly so.
I wonder
Um,
how the I was thinking about this the other day. I wonder how they're gonna do the Creator Cup. Considering that, because I hang out with Macy, like I play with him all the time.
mhm.
He said that he reached out to Ubisoft and they haven't reached back to him yet. At least this was like a week or so ago. So, and they said they haven't reached back out to him yet. Like they said they would do something for him to do a meet and greet, and they still haven't reached back to him to do the meet and greet. So I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't, or if they'll even do a Creator Cup. 'Cause they haven't done one in God knows how long.
Yeah, no, I think the last.
The last Creator Cup was in Raleigh. Oh
Yeah,
no, it was 2020. No, it was the 2021.
was it?
It's
Okay,
Six Invitational 2020. Yeah,
okay.
because remember they did. I'm pretty sure it was like EU against NA almost. I remember.
I think you're
Uh,
right.
yeah, because I remember
Um,
Keeney was on stage. Keeney and Macy were on stage when they
right,
were doing
right,
it.
right, right. Yes,
Yep.
yes, because he was in his Clash cosplay and was
Yep.
still. Yeah, okay, that is
Yep.
correct.
Yep. They did one there. They did one at Raleigh, but then I guess considering that uh Six Invitational was the last LAN that we had for a
That
while,
might be why.
that might be why they haven't been doing Creator Cups because they couldn't get it organized enough.
Yeah,
So
that could be a very very good reason why. Yeah, especially because the last few, not at the
mhm.
fault of the content creators, but more because of how late a lot of them were announced. A lot of content creators weren't able to make it to Berlin and Sweden.
Yep.
So that could be a really big one actually. Now that I think about it.
I hope they do a Creator Cup. That would be really fun to do, or
Yeah,
fun to watch per se.
I would
Yeah,
agree.
that'd
Um,
be a fun one.
have you seen some of the interesting roster changes in
Pro League.
Pro League?
I've only saw one so far, and that was Citizen with G2
Yes.
going to Sonics. That's the only one that I've really paid attention
That
to.
one's kind of crazy. That's the first, I think, really, that's the second
Oh,
really big one that we've had.
and what's his name? Sky's going to DZ.
DZ with actually a rookie pickup. I can't remember
Mm-hmm.
his name off the top of my head, but it is a rookie pickup with
Yeah.
Eclipse and Hyper being gone.
Yep. I remember. Yep. Those are the only two I really heard about, and that'll be
Those are the only two I know for sure that I haven't seen through leaks, so I won't speak because I have seen
yeah.
some leak stuff, and I don't want to speak about that.
Yep.
That's not fair to the players. But yeah, Citizen to Sonics in place of Kansan. I'm excited to see that. I'm really excited to see how
Yeah.
that
So am I.
plays out. Sonics
That should be a
is.
good one. That should be interesting. Sonics have always been good, in my opinion.
I think they've
Yeah,
been the
sure. They have
up-and-coming team.
some very chatty players, no doubt. But like, always good team. Always been a good team to watch. Honestly.
Yeah, I think they have been the up-and-coming team this year. Like, I
NA
think
wise.
they've NA wise, yeah, obviously. I think if you say worldwide, it would be Fury or
Rogue.
W7.
Or they're technically Kyo now, right? Or so Koi,
I
something
can't
like that.
remember all too
Yeah.
much. So yeah, Citizen there. That is, I think,
Mm-hmm.
the like the second like really big player to go across regions. Obviously, we have seen some smaller ones. Like I'm not saying Blaz isn't a bad player, but obviously he's not a very well known player, right? He was playing for Parabellum, I think.
Yep.
Yep.
Very
He
well.
was playing for Parabellum, and he's from the EU. And of course, before that, we had joined G2 Alamo. Alamo, I would say, is the only
Yep.
other really big one. So
Yep.
I am excited to see how that plays out. I'm excited to see Skies back in the competitive.
Yep. I'm
play.
excited. Yep.
I do like him as a player.
Same.
I don't know if Laxing has said if he's coming back for Invitational or not yet.
I thought he got picked up by somebody. I could be completely wrong.
I know he's not coaching Elevate anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because he everyone knew he was only coaching Elevate for the one season.
Yeah.
Which I have to imagine he brought a lot of experience to them, and I am excited to hopefully see them show up at a LAN here soon with that new experience.
Yeah, I think they're already in Invitationals. I think they're already
invite. Okay,
yeah, they made
I
invite.
really hope to see them show up with some new stuff and some.
Yeah, Elevate's in Invitation. I remember I saw it. Yep, they carry APAC in my opinion. I feel like anytime you see an Elevate game, everybody's cheering Elevate.
Yeah, they're
at least I am
favorites.
At least I am.
Most people as long as how do I put it? If a APAC team makes it into quarters, they get just as much cheer as the team they're going up against, like every time.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Everyone wants to see them do good. A lot of people understand that like they still are lagging behind in a lot of aspects for a lot of their teams, but everyone
because they're the only region that hasn't really won anything, right?
Correct. They have not won a single major or invitational.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see them do something. I'd like to see them do something. A little something, man.
Just something.
Get somewhere. And I'd like to see it be Elevate! But we'll see. We'll see. But overall, I'm excited for 6 Invitational. Can't wait. Going to be very, very fun to be at. Anything else we gotta speak about?
No, I think that was really it for this one, this pre-invitational one.
Yeah, it was really just about this season because I think the last episode we had a lot to cover overall as a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. As to where we technically covered a lot today, considering that the season did bring a lot as well, though. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So
I guess we will probably be seeing you after Invitational for the hype for next season. You know, we can talk about what's coming once we know. Obviously, I don't think one more thing. I have not seen anything leaked for next year.
Yeah, no leaked. Yep.
Which I'm really happy to see.
The only thing I think I could possibly say that we know of leak-wise is Ubisoft themselves kind of leaked it, was that we have a confirmed 2 more years of Siege.
Yeah,
because they put a map on saying that we have a 2024 Invitational already on the way. Mm-hmm. So we know we have 2 more years at least. So that's about it. Otherwise, leaked of gameplay and just new seasons, no nothing.
Yeah, and I'm happy for that.
Yeah, that's a good thing. It leaves so much more suspense and so much more surprise and so much more like excitingness for what's to come for the years and seasons. Yep.
100%. So yeah, if anybody has anything to add onto what we said in the comments or really quick here in the chat while we close up, feel free to say so. Yeah, I think that's about it. I just want to leave off. I'm excited for Invitational.
Yeah, Invitationals is going to be a banger. I think it's usually like a week or 2, right? Before the next season comes after Invitational. I'm pretty sure. It's usually like a week left or 2, something like that.
I'm not this season, yes, but this season we also got the test server before the event was done. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually not, that was the first time they've ever done that. So I'm actually not 100% sure. But it should be 2 weeks after the test server starts. So whenever that starts.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah. So in that time being then, we shall see y'all then. For anybody who is here or was here, my name is No Limit, and I'm here with Nocturra. If you would like to see us or hear from us or just message us or see content, just anything generally, our social medias are both as stated above. No Limit, Nocturra.
Yes, and they will all be linked in the description below of the YouTube video.
All right. So everybody, have a good one. I will catch you all soon. I'm going to send you guys on over to Snake from TSM. Have a good one, y'all, and peace out.